Om Swastiastu and good afternoon, my lecturer and my friends. Today, we would like to present about our PowerPoint. And the PowerPoint is about online informal learning of English or OILE. But before that, let us introduce ourselves. My name is Nikade Kartika Mulyani Putri and my friends.
My name is Nikomangkria Sklurucia.
My name is Nimade Duta Ardiliani.
And now let's get started.
Okay, for the first is about background and purpose of the study. For the background, technology and the internet have changed how people learn English. Now, people can learn English from daily online activity like watching video, listening to music, or using social media. This kind of learning is called online informal learning of English or OILE. Most previous study talked about students. However, there is very little research about teachers and how they use OILE. In Indonesia, many English teachers also rarely use English outside the classroom. Because of this, teacher OILE need to be studied more. And then for the purpose is first, it wants to fill the research gap about how teacher practice OILE. And second, it aims to understand teacher view and opinion about OILE and its benefit. And third, it explores what kind of OILE activity teachers do and why they do them. And the last one is the study support teachers by helping them keep their English skill active in a natural way. And then for the next, about research question and hypothesis. For the research question, what are the teacher perception of the OILE concept and its benefit? This study asks about teacher perception. It asks how teachers understand OILE and what benefit they see from it. And the second question, what kind of OILE activity do English teachers in Indonesia practice? This second question focuses on activities. It asks what kind of OILE activities English teachers in Indonesia usually do. And the third question, what are the reasons or motivation behind the teacher OILE practice? Is about reason. It asks why teachers practice OILE and what motivation them to do it. And then for the hypothesis explains the research aspect. Teachers with positive view of OILE are more likely to support their students OILE is also expected to help teachers keep their English skills strong and natural. And next, for research design and participants. Research type. The study used mixed methods. First, a questionnaire used to see how often teachers practice OILE. And then interview where down to young help explain the questionnaire. And then for the participants, there were 100 in the survey. And for 5 teachers for interview. And the study was conducted in Bali, Indonesia. And next will be continued by my friend.
And next, the data collection. The data were collected in two stages. First, the teachers answered a questionnaire. Second, interview instrument. A questionnaire was used to collect data about teachers' perceptions and practice of OILE. A semi-structured interview guide was used to gain deeper information. The instruments were validated by two experts. The instruments were tested with 20 teachers. Next. The third one is data analysis. Teachers' answers were grouped into similar ideas. These ideas were developed into main themes. OILE data were counted to identify types and frequency of practice. Interview data supported the questionnaire results. And the fourth is analysis techniques. Quantitative tabulation was used to count OILE activities and how often teachers practice them. A classification scale was used to group practice into 6 levels, from no practice to heavy practice. Qualitative content analysis was used to understand teachers' answers more clearly. Next. And the last is findings. Teachers have positive perceptions of OILE, but the level of practice is very low. 98.17% of teachers believe OILE helps improve their English skills. And 60.27% of teachers practice OILE at a minimal level. And 94.52% show that listening to music is the most popular OILE activity. The hypothesis that teachers face difficulties in using English was supported. The main causes are heavy administrative work and low English proficiency. And the hypothesis that teachers face difficulties in using English was supported mainly due to heavy administrative work and low English proficiency. And next will be continued by my friend.
Okay, next, I will continue to explain the answers to the research question. The first research question is about the teacher's knowledge. The article reports that 69.89% of teachers had never heard of the term OILE, and only 2.74% truly understood the concept. And this indicates that OILE is still a relatively new and unfamiliar concept for most Indonesian TEFL teachers, even though many of them actually practice OILE unconsciously. And next, for the research question 2 is about the level of practice. The findings show that teachers' OILE practice frequency was very low. About 60.27% of teachers were in the minimal practice category, and there is no teachers that reach the heavy practice level. And this suggests that although teachers engage in activities such as listening to music or watching movies in English, these activities are not done intensively or consistently. And the last for the research question number 3 is about the main barriers. So based from the article, it identifies several problems. First is lack of time due to administrative workload, and then difficult using English, unfamiliarity with OILE activities, fear of making mistakes, and fear of being judged. These barriers explain why teachers' OILE practice remains limited. Next is for the discussion explaining the result. So first, teachers report that heavy administrative and non-pedagogical workload, which it significantly reduced their free time. So many teachers state that after school hours, they still had to deal with paperwork and family responsibilities. And for the second, the article shows that many teachers struggle with English comprehension, especially when reading online news, watching movies with English subtitles, or writing posts on social media. And as a result, they prefer using Bahasa Indonesia to maintain comfort and enjoyment. And next is the study compares its findings with previous studies from like Poland, Korea, China, Thailand, and Vietnam, which similarly report that teachers' English use is limited due to workload and language anxiety. But however, a key difference is found in digital games, but previous studies highlighted games as beneficial for language learning, and many teachers in the study view games as a waste of time, especially when done outside formal learning contexts. Next is implications and limitation. First is implications. So based on the articles, findings imply that teachers need systemic and institutional support to increase their OILE practice. A reduced non-teaching administrative duties will allow teachers to have more time to professional self-development. And the teachers also highlight that OILE can serve as an important tool for maintaining and improving teachers' English, especially in an EFL context like Indonesia, where English use outside the classroom is very limited. And supporting teachers in formal online English use can help prevent language attrition and improve long-term proficiency. Next is for the limitations. So the study only focused on teachers' perceived benefits, not on measurable improvement in language proficiency. There was no direct assessment of teachers' English skills or classroom performance. But additionally, the research was conducted only among junior and senior high school teachers in Bali, which limits the generalizability of the findings to other regions or educational levels. Next is the recommendations. So based on the findings, the authors strongly recommend that OILE concepts and practices be integrated into pre-service teacher education. This would help future teachers understand OILE early and practice it consciously. And the article also suggests incorporating OILE into professional development programs, especially those focusing on maintaining and improving teachers' English proficiency. And by increasing teachers' awareness and engagement with OILE, teachers will be better prepared to both develop their own English skills and support students in formal English learning.
So I think that's all from us. We will close by Paramasanti, Om Santi 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 Om. Thank you.